All right, welcome to part two, sports fans, where I'm about to give my 2 cents on what I think is going to happen in week four. If you missed the recap of week three, which was part one of this episode, well, you should be able to see it in the lineup there. So go back and watch that real quick if you wouldn't mind. Now, let's dive into how I think week four is going to play out. Definitely a lot of good matchups this week. Maybe a few question marks left as we're now officially a quarter of the way through the season, and I think we're starting to figure out some teams. Others we're just not quite sure of yet, and I guess we're still in a wait and see for a few. But Thursday night's game that'll start off week four. Definitely one to tune in and watch, as this will definitely tell us where the NFC North stands and what direction it's going, as the Detroit Lions head into Lambeau Field to take on the Green Bay Packers. And I gotta say, this is one of those coin flip games. Could go either way. I mean, of course, right now I think everybody's probably favoring the Detroit Lions. You know, definitely a fan favorite, sentimental favorite. They've been bottom dwellers for so long, and well, now that Aaron Rodgers is gone, a golden opportunity for them to take control of the division. And I think it's safe to say that the Bears officially suck. I'm sorry, Dad. The Vikings, I mean, they're still competitive, so you can't quite sleep on them, but yeah, definitely a role reversal from last year. Now they can't win close games. And so the NFC North is clearly between Green Bay and Detroit. So here's an early opportunity for the Lions to get one on the Packers. But let's not count out Green Bay just quite yet, because they do have some good pieces. And Jordan Love, a good opportunity for him again, as he will face a very rough Lions defense who will be looking to get after him. They don't have Darius Slay, so that is a plus. So let's see if Jordan Love can take advantage of that. Let's see if he can reciprocate the magic from last week. So the Lions know that even if they get out to like a 2 or 3 score lead, you got to put the Packers away. You got to put Jordan Love away. If you don't, they're going to come back and burn you. And I think that's probably what will happen. I got Green Bay Packers winning this game just because that's what my gut feels going with, because, well, Love's on my fantasy team, number one, and I'm just not quite ready yet to buy the Lions fully. Like I said, this is the kind of game where they can truly make a. It's, you feel like it's kind of like ignorant to say because they did beat the Chiefs, but the Chiefs haven't really looked all that great so far. I mean, come on, they beat up they beat up the poor Bears. Like, are we really going to give them full credit for that? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Okay, so the jury's still out, but let's hope it's a good game at least. Nobody like blows the other team out or whatever. Moving on to Sunday. If any of you feel like getting up early enough to catch the games that are across the pond, and I never do, and I never really care for the matchups anyway, unless my team's involved. 9:30 kickoff. We got the Atlanta Falcons at the London Jaguars. I mean, you might as well call them that because they're the favorite. They're the most favorite team over there for some reason. Like, for whatever reason, the Londoners or whatever else you call them, the Tommy. I'm not gonna rack my brain trying to think, but yeah, for whatever reason, the Jaguars are the most favorite team over there in London. So yeah, they get the call most of the time to go over there. I don't know why, and I really hope someday that they don't officially become the London Jaguars. I don't care what Roger Goodell tries to spew out of his mouth. I don't think it would be fuel efficient for the league. I mean, I don't think it's the equivalent of traveling from, the East Coast to the West Coast. I really don't think it is. It's just ludicrous. If you want NFL football back over there that bad, then start back up NFL Europa. That's all I'm going to say. As for my pick, I'm going with the Jags. I mean, I don't know what to make of the Falcons yet. I mean, obviously, they're definitely looking pretty good, better than I thought they would. And the Jags, not looking quite as good as I thought they would. So, this will be a good test game. to see who wins and who is like more real. And again, I can't pick the Falcons because they always lose when I pick them. So there you go. I'm doing the Falcons and their fans a favor. I ain't picking the Atlanta Falcons at all this season unless I feel otherwise. But again, like the Jags were one of my fan favorites coming into this season. I don't want to give up on them quite yet. I want to give Doug Peterson the benefit of the doubt. And this is definitely a winnable game. It's definitely going to be a close game. So just going to come down to who fucks up less. Oh, also, here's the highlight. Also, here's the underline for this game. Apparently, I forget where else it's being broadcasted, but apparently they're gonna do an entirely Toy Story themed version of this broadcast, and I already forget the damn name of the channel it's gonna be on. I should have wrote it down. Right off the bat, I want to say Nickelodeon maybe, but I'm like, or maybe it's on ABC. But it's like, what now? And they showed previews of it during the Eagles game with the Buccaneers. And I'm like, why? I was like, for the life of me, I can't understand why they would do that. Like, we're nowhere near the 30th anniversary for the first Toy Story yet. I think that's another 3 years down the road, maybe. But I just don't understand the point of that. Like, Toy Story 4 came out like last year, didn't it? Or the year before, or a couple years ago? I feel like this is kind of late. I don't know. I mean, it looked funny for what they showed because they were showing a miniature Jalen Hurts and a bunch of little those egg toy thingies with helmets on. I don't know what I was looking at. I thought it was cute. I still don't get it. And my one buddy texted me saying, well, they're trying to do it to draw in more younger viewers and stuff like that. But hey, when I was a kid, I really didn't sit through watching football games. I couldn't. I was young and restless. I didn't have time to sit down and watch a whole fucking game. I wanted to be outside, playing around or going out doing stuff, And if I was going to sit and do stuff, I was playing my video games. Come on. It was a great time to be a kid back then. All right, moving on to the 1 o'clock games. So, the 3-0 Birds taking on the now 2-1 Washington Commanders. So, if we all remember, Washington came into Philadelphia last season and ended the Eagles' undefeated streak at 8-0. So, are the Commies going to do it when the Eagles are only at 4-0? Well, right off the bat, you want to say, well, of course not. After how bad Washington looked against Buffalo, that defense fucking kicked their ass. They sacked Howell 9 times, and he went from his last name being Howell to Ow, and threw 4 interceptions. Now, the Eagles' defense is definitely capable of maybe reciprocating that. They don't get as many sacks as we would like, so, give some teams' offensive line credit. They're definitely keeping the Eagles' rush from getting to the quarterback, but the Eagles' rush is definitely getting pressure on the quarterback, and they definitely have a good backfield to back it up, especially with Reed Blankenship back in the works. That was a beautiful interception by him off of Baker Mayfield. Just a perfect read from start to finish. Jalen Carter got his first forced fumble. That definitely led to some points, even after, the Bucs took it right back. That was an interesting series. It's like the Eagles take it, and then Hurts gets picked off by White, gives it right back, and then Carter and the defense get it right back for him. Oh man, let me tell you. And oh my gosh, I'm gonna sidetrack myself for a second just to talk about how frustrating fantasy football is. And it's like I lost my first game. But there was so many opportunities I could have had to get back into that. It's like, I didn't start the Eagles' defense. I started the Cowboys' defense. So thanks, Dallas, for choosing to be in postseason form a little early this time. If I'd have started the Birds, I probably would have won the game. It also would have helped? A.J. Brown getting his first touchdown reception. How does A.J. Brown not have any touchdowns yet? That guy had how many coming into this week last year? Justin Jefferson finally got his first damn touchdown pass. Puka was almost still effective against the frickin' Bengals. And then, of course, I have White for the Buccaneers, the running back, not the linebacker. I forget his first name. And, like, the one touchdown the Buccaneers got, rather than be a 1-yard scamper by White that could have got me a couple more points, no, he throws a damn ball to Mike Evans. Son of a bitch. There was just so many missed opportunities. And it's like, man, fantasy football is sometimes more frustrating than the real thing. Although not really. All right, let's get back into the picks here. This is an interesting matchup now. Pittsburgh Steelers at the Houston Texans. Texans got their first win of the season and looked good doing it against those Jaguars. C.J. Stroud, maybe he is the real deal. Who knows? He's going to have a good test with that Steeler defense coming to town. T.J. Watt chasing him down. And I did not mean to make that rhyme. And now you got Kenny Pickett figuring out, finally getting the offense going. So, yeah, this might actually turn to a pretty good game. I am going Steelers. My gut's picking the Steelers, but you never know. You just never know with these games that are so damn, that look like and feel like they're going to be close. But I'm going to favor the Steelers. So, another good test for that Texan unit. The Rams at the Colts. Yeah, the Rams look kind of mediocre against that Bengals team there on Monday night. Oh, boy. But I feel like they have more weapons compared to the Colts. It's close. It's really close. And that was a good win for Indianapolis to stun the Ravens. You know, even though we'll make the excuse the Ravens are depleted injury-wise, but still. Oh, man. I don't know. I'm back and forth on this one because in some of those pick'em games on the ESPN app and stuff, I went with Indianapolis on the one, the Rams on the other. I don't know. It's another coin toss game. It's another interesting matchup. Should title this video "The Interesting Week 5." Or no, wait, this is Week 4. My bad. The Interesting Week 4. Oh man. I think for my official pick, I'm gonna go with the Rams. And you can tell I'm not really sold on that, but at the same time, I don't want to get too heavy on the Colts. Same with the Texans. Same with, the other teams that I'm not too sold on yet. It's like I haven't seen or felt enough that I can just, excuse me, blindly throw money at you. And I like to be sure. I like to be absolutely sure. At least 95% sure. But yeah, I'm going to go with Rams, give them the benefit of the doubt, and because Puka's on my... I know I'm probably mispronouncing the name, but come on, it's right there, Puka. I'm hoping he pukes me up a bunch of points this time. But it all depends on how well Stafford plays, and maybe the Colts defense is a little better than I gave him credit for. Anthony Richardson, yeah, this kid's definitely got something special. And now we've seen that Matt Gay is now the new best kicker in the league because this guy can nail 50-yarders like, they were 20-yarders. So, yeah, we shall see. We shall see. Colts have the home field. Definitely helped them in their favor. Okay, we got Minnesota still searching for their first win. They go to Carolina, who's also still searching for their first win. So somebody's going to win a game here. And I tried to go with Minnesota last week because I figured the Chargers would find a way to charger it, but instead the Vikings chargered it. But I'm going to give you another shot, Minnesota. I'm going to give you another shot because I still feel like you're a better team that you let on. But, yeah, again, it feels like we're having the opposite of 2022, the Twilight Zone, where now you're losing these close games rather than winning them. Can the Panthers win this game? Absolutely. Minnesota just doesn't got that gusto like they had last year. So won't surprise me one bit if Carolina does manage to pull this off. I'm not sure if Bryce Young's going to start or not. I really didn't look at the Panthers injury report list. So I don't think it's going to matter. It's Bryce Young or Andy Dalton. If the Panthers are meant to win, they'll find a way to win. Just try to get Miles Sanders more touches. Try to get him more yards. Give him some touchdowns. He's on my fantasy team. Definitely would help. All right, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers playing host to the New Orleans Saints, who are now going to be without Derek Carr for the foreseeable future. Jameis Winston at the helm. And if that Bucs defense could pick off Jalen Hurts twice, they most certainly can get after Jameis Winston and get a couple of freebies to help them out. Baker Mayfield didn't play too bad against the Birds for the most part. So, you know what? Baker just needs to keep playing with confidence. He's got weapons. They just got to know how to use them. Todd Bowles isn't that bad of a caller. I really think the Bucs can win this. You know, the Saints do have a defense. They too have some weapons of their own. But they got Jameis Winston at quarterback. So I got to favor the Bucs.